motor imported from the United Kingdom in unofficial qualifying. Where young Anthony Taylor was concerned, his was the only BMW entry running without the aerodynamic package. With early psychological blows to be struck in official qualifying, Johnson Matthey BMW Works driver Dion Joubert summed up the general tactical approach.
Qualifying is only one thing for it, you know, you have to try as hard as you can. I'm going to use both my sets of tyres in qualifying, and in the race, depending on where the grid is, we'll give it a go.
While the factory BMW settled into an immediate rhythm to set the early pace, BP Nissan Sentra star Nick de Waal was going through troubled times.
I lost it in the mine shaft. I lost it in the second end. Fastest comes round.
The benefits offered by the weight reduction and aerodynamic kits were quickly evident where BMW runners were concerned. Privateer Marco dos Santos in the lake-filled Autobahn BMW was up with the factory teams. The additional 25 kilograms of ballast carried by the front-wheel drive cars was also having a marked effect, with teams like Opel Racing having to experiment with suspension settings and the balance of the car. For Grant McCleary, it was turning out to be a miserable day. The spare engine was down on power, and young McCleary was struggling to turn in competitive lap times. There were no such problems for privateer Farouk Dangoor. The Klerksdorp businessman surprised everyone by setting the second fastest time in qualifying.
I didn't really shock myself. I could see it coming because earlier in the week we were as quick as the quickest guys on the circuit. And I knew sometime we've got to get ahead now. And well, I'm very happy with second place, really.
It was turning out to be a good day for Sean van der Linde and the BMW Envirocar team. One of the young Turks of South African racing, van der Linde placed himself firmly on pole position.
Obviously, the change we've got made to the car, the weight, first of all, I think made a big difference. And also the wings must have helped. We're not quite sure how much it helped, but it definitely did help. I think this is a kind of result we needed for the team to get their motivation back again. And I'm very glad for the team that I could do it for them.
There were congratulations for van der Linde from happy teammate Dion Joubert. An early psychological victory was a lift for the BMW Envirocar squad. A career first for Sean van der Linde in pole position. Alongside him on the front row of the grid, Farouk Dangoor struck a blow for the privateers. Serge Damso claimed third fastest in the Minolta Toyota Camry, with Mike Briggs also on the second row. Dion Joubert in the second factory BMW and BP Nissan star Hannes Grobler shared the third row of the grid. Next up were Nick de Waal and young Marco dos Santos, with the first 7 cars all under the existing lap record. Anthony Taylor claimed 9th spot on the grid ahead of a disappointed Grant McCleary in the PG Autoglass Opel Astra, with the top 10 rounded out by Jesse Huggett. There was early disappointment for the Minolta Toyota team, with Serge Damso out of action due to illness.
There's probably a lot of speculation why we're not running Mike White in the car. The reason for that is quite simple. Mike has not driven the car yet, and having this type of motor car with a sequential gearbox, which Mike has never used, takes some getting used to. We've therefore made the decision not to run Mike in the car at this point in time, because the risk is too great. However, for the fans out there, a little bit of good news. He will be competing in this car at Kyalami at the next race.
The Drivers' Parade prior to each event has become part and parcel of the Stanek Touring Car Series and is highly popular with drivers and race fans alike. The parade gives the drivers a chance to relax before getting down to serious business. For the fans, it's a chance to see their heroes minus helmets, and it all helps ease the pre-race tensions. The 4.126-kilometer Kyalami Grand Prix circuit is one of the few international racetracks to run in an anti-clockwise direction. The undulating circuit mixes fast sweeps with first and second gear corners and is a severe test of driver and car. The cars are out on their warm-up lap with the adrenaline starting to build up in the drivers. Anthony Taylor has Marco dos Santos ahead of him with the cars approaching the AA Super Bowl. This is a second gear hairpin corner, and then it's up the slight hill to the very fast AA sweep, taken flat out in fifth gear at over 200 kilometers an hour. This is one of the few meetings of the year to feature cars only, and Kyalami is packed. The drivers are warming up the tires by weaving from side to side, with Farouk Dengor, the only driver out on Yokohamas.
Well, the Yokohama has proven previously in Cape Town, as the race progressed, it went quicker and quicker. And during the week's testing, it's also proven a very, very consistent time. I just hope that gives us the edge in the race.
Kyalami is not too hard on tyres, but everyone will be concerned about tyre wear.
Well, I think, first of all, the tyre's going to play a big role. You know, it's 12 laps. Depends on the temperature tomorrow, but we'll have to look after the tyres, I think, because of Farouk's second. His tyres are very good towards the end of the race. So we have to look after our tyres in the beginning, and we have to play it from there.
All set for round 13 of the Stanek Touring Car Series, with Sean van der Linde on pole position on the right of your screen, and alongside him, Farouk Dengor. They're underway, and Dengor has got the drop on van der Linde. Dengor made a great start and is alongside van der Linde's BMW as they go into the total curves. Farouk Dengor is challenging from the word go, but is forced to tuck in behind van der Linde as they head for Nashua Corner. Up the hill towards Nashua with van der Linde in front, with Dengor tucked in behind him. Mike Briggs is third in the Opel Astra, with Nick de Waal fourth in the BP Nissan Sentra. Dion Joubert is fifth with Hannes Krobler sixth, and under pressure from Marco dos Santos in the Lakefield Autobahn BMW. Grant McCleary and Anthony Taylor bring up the rear of the field, with the leaders storming through the Goodyear sweep. It's heavy braking for the tight left-hander at Goodyear Corner, with Marco dos Santos storming up the inside of Hannes Krobler. Dos Santos has picked up a place as we go in car with Anthony Taylor, with Grant McCleary ahead of him in the PG Autoglass Opel Astra. These are the Rothmans S's, with the G-forces working on the drivers. Van der Linde in the BMW Enviro car leads the charge up the hill towards West Bank. Farouk Dengor is right behind him and locks up a wheel under braking. Dos Santos is up into sixth place, and Hannes Krobler may have a problem. Both McCleary and Taylor have gone past the Nissan. Van der Linde has pulled away slightly from Dengor down the Caltex mine shaft. The cars come sliding through the Haviline sweep. There's no lifting off through the Haviline sweep, and again Dengor locks up the brakes as the cars go through the AA Super Bowl. Dengor may have a brake problem, and the Yokohamas won't like that sort of treatment. Racecam action from the Mike Briggs Opel Astra. Briggs is closing in on Dengor, and the speedy car sells Vauxhall Cavalier on the Gestetner straight past the pits. Briggs is set to take over second place. Now we pick up the action in the total curves from Dengor's Racecam. Farouk has dropped back into third place and is waving someone through. Dengor definitely has some kind of problem, and that's Nick de Waal in the Nissan Sentra, who moves up into third place. Dion Joubert in the second factory BMW has also gone past Dengor, who is in trouble. We saw Dengor lock up the brakes on the Vauxhall Cavalier a couple of times on the previous lap, and he is dropping back rapidly. From second on the grid, Dengor has dropped back to last place. Anthony Taylor and Hannes Krobler have also made up ground on Grant McCleary, and clearly the PG Autoglass Opel is down on power. A perfect winter's day at Kyalami, and Farouk Dengor is in the pits. That could be the end of his race, and what a pity for the speedy car sales team. Back to the action, and Sean van der Linde still leads in the BMW Enviro car. Behind him, a tremendous battle is developing, with Mike Briggs holding off Nick de Waal, who is coming under tremendous pressure from Dion Joubert in the second BMW Works entry. And that's Marco dos Santos in the kitty litter at Nashua Corner. Dos Santos has spun out, but it doesn't look as though there's serious damage to the Lakefield Autobahn BMW. The battle for third place is hotting up. Nick de Waal and Dion Joubert are sneaking up inside of Mike Briggs at Goodyear Corner. Here comes action. Briggs is forced onto the dirt at the exit to Goodyear. He won't take kindly to that, but de Waal is into second place in the Nissan Sentra. And more action. Briggs has been punted by Dion Joubert in the BMW, and the Enviro car is sliding off the circuit. Action replay with de Waal first into the corner as Dion Joubert goes for the inside line of the first of the Rothmans S's. BMW and Opel make contact. The Opel Astra starts to slide and clips the BMW, with Joubert spinning off the circuit into the gravel trap. race. The speedy car sales Vauxhall Cavalier is back on the circuit. But Dangor will be a lap or two in arrears. This is the approach to Nashua Corner, and we're riding with Farouk Dangor, and has lost it. Bang! And the Vauxhall has made heavy contact with the wall on the inside of Nashua, and that looks terminal this time for Dangor. The last lap, and Sean van der Linde is walking away with it in the BMW Enviro car. The youngster hasn't put a foot wrong, and the aerodynamic tweaks and weight reduction have worked wonders for the Johnson Matthey BMW. Van der Linde has a comfortable lead over Nick de Waal in the BP Nissan Sentra, with young Anthony Taylor up into third place in the BMW Motorplan private entry. Taylor is closing in on the Nissan, but with less than half a lap to go, it doesn't look as though he'll get past de Waal. It's an impressive performance on Taylor's part, and remember, he doesn't have the aerodynamic bits and pieces that are fitted to van der Linde's car. Here comes Sean van der Linde through to Stettler Corner for the last time and onto the main straight. Kyalami starter John Wheeler had the checkered flag ready, and Sean van der Linde gives BMW victory in round 13 of the Stanek Sack Car Series. Sean van der Linde wins, and Nick de Waal will take second place just in front of Anthony Taylor. A BMW factory entry, a Nissan factory entry, and a BMW privateer in the first three places. Happiness in the Johnson Matthey BMW camp, and a great performance from Anthony Taylor to finish third. Mike Briggs held on for fourth place ahead of Hannes Robler in the second BP Nissan Sentra, with Farouk Dangor a non-finisher after an eventful outing in the speedy car sales Vauxhall Cavalier. There is jubilation in the Johnson Matthey pits after van der Linde's victory. It's BMW's first taste of success since early in the season, and there's plenty of cause for celebration. Early in the year, van der Linde gave the new BMW 318 its first victory worldwide.
Ek dink die grootste voordeel tot nou kry is die gewig. Die drukplekke en die kit help, maar ek dink die grootste voordeel tot nou het is kom van die gewig af. Daar ons die 25 kilo's af het en hulle die vooraanwiel gedrewe karre die 25 kilo's moet bysit. Ek dink dis waar die groot verskil nou lê.
Elsewhere, it was time for post-mortems, while Mike Briggs explained details of his coming together with Dion Joubert to Opel Racing team manager Derek Marks and Nick de Waal. Technicians were carrying out running repairs to the second BMW Enviro car. Joubert was also feeling hard done by.
Well, you know, it was my corner. We've got a sort of a code of conduct going. Michael went wide on the grass for whatever reason. It was really my corner. I was more than 50% past his car, so he should have let me go. Unfortunately, I landed in the sand trap. It took quite a while to get back. Yeah, I thought I was driving quite sort of within myself, and I said it's a pity it happens, you know.
Opel Racing crew were also busy repairing damage to the Briggs car. Briggs was in hot water with race officials at the last Kyalami outing and had his views on the affair.
Nick got next to me going up towards Sunset, and I left room for him at Sunset, and I thought he would respond. But unfortunately, he chose to run me off the road coming out of Clubhouse. I had to sort of just come on right behind him again, at which time Dion was very close. Under braking for the first test, Dion just ran into the back of me, spun me around, and sort of on the rebound, basically, ran across and hit Dion. One of those unfortunate things. I'm sure they'll be as stern with the others as they were with me last race. So I'm not worried.
Farouk Dangor was into the pits early in round 13. Now there is more work for his crew after the coming together with the wall at Nashua Corner.
The mechanics could fix it quickly, so we got it going again. And we just wanted to go and try and to see if it's all right for the next race. And I came out of Nashua Corner. Car went a bit wide at the back. There's quite a hole there. As it hit the hole, the car just bounced out of control, totally out of control. Went into the wall.
Stay with us for round 14 of the Stanek Sack Car Series. Stanek are the proud sponsors of the Sack Car Series. The Stanek Touring Car Series coming up with the cars formed up on the grid. This time, round 13 winner Sean van der Linde has Nick de Waal alongside him on the front row. The light is green, and we take a look at the start from the race cam facing backwards on van der Linde's car. Anthony Taylor has made a good start and is up alongside the de Waal Nissan, and there are problems further back on the grid with a number of cars going off. The leading cars are safely through the total curves and heading up to Nashua. We are riding with Mike Briggs, who isn't happy about something, and Anthony Taylor is having a go at Nick de Waal on the inside of Nashua. Taylor has squeezed his way past the Nissan and is up into second place. Taylor picks up an early place, but let's have a look at the action replay of the shenanigans at the start. That's Marco Dos Santos in the Autobahn BMW in the center of the screen. Dos Santos makes contact with the PG Autoglass Opel Astra driven by Grant McCleary. The BMW then hits the BP Nissan Sentra driven by Hannes Krobler, and he spins across the circuit and thumps McCleary. Both cars veer back across the circuit, and Dion Joubert in the BMW Enviro car is left with nowhere to go but into the wall. Another look at the incident, this time from the race cam in Joubert's Johnson Matthey BMW Enviro car. Up ahead, Marco Dos Santos tries to squeeze between Krobler on his left and McCleary on the right. There's a lot of contact as Joubert tries to stay out of trouble on the inside of the circuit and is gently nudged into the wall. Dion Joubert is not happy. 3 cars are out of action on the start line, and that is unfortunate. But once again, Sean van der Linde is out in front. Van der Linde leads in the BMW with Anthony Taylor second in the Motorplan BMW. Taylor has Nick Duval in the BP Nissan right on his heels. Mike Briggs is fourth, and Marco Dos Santos is on a charge and fighting it out with Farouk Dangor in the AA Super Bowl. Dos Santos went for the inside, ran a little wide coming out of the corner, and Dangor is back in front of the BMW. Marshals have cleared the carnage at the start-finish line, and still van der Linde leads Taylor. Duval is third, and Dos Santos is closing in on Mike Briggs. Marco Dos Santos has the bit between his teeth in the Autobahn BMW and wants 4th place from Mike Briggs. Down the Caltex mineshaft at over 200 kilometers an hour. The order is van der Linde, Taylor, Duval, Briggs and Dos Santos. And Dos Santos is attacking Briggs on the inside. Dos Santos is on a mission. The 2 cars are touching, but Dos Santos has muscled his way through into 4th place. That was useful exuberance and aggression from Marco Dos Santos, but it paid off, and now he's got his sights set on Nick Duval. Championship leader Mike Briggs is trying to fight back, but Dos Santos has the legs on him. Out in front, factory BMW leads privateer BMW with Sean van der Linde ahead of Anthony Taylor. Nick Duval is third in the BP Nissan Sentra, but he will soon have Marco Dos Santos in his mirrors. Mike Briggs is back into 5th, and he won't like that. Caltex mineshaft again, and Dos Santos is right on Duval's tail. Is Dos Santos going to try another attack down the inside at the AA Super Bowl as Taylor locks up the brakes? And Dos Santos has hit the wall. Dos Santos has hit the wall at the AA Super Bowl, a mighty thump. That's the end of his race, but Dos Santos looks okay in the car as we take a look at the action replay. The race cam action is from Duval's car as he is thumped on the backside by the BMW. Hairy moments for Nick Duval, but has managed to catch the Sentra. Some superb driving from Duval as he's got underway again ahead of Mike Briggs. The Nissan looked a little unstable through the AA sweep, but there doesn't appear to be too much damage. Some great driving as Duval recovered from being thumped by Dos Santos, but now he's got more problems with Mike Briggs right on his tail. Action in round 14 of the Stanek touring cars, with Sean van der Linde unperturbed out in front in the BMW Enviro car, with Anthony Taylor in a solid 2nd place. A young man hard at work in his office. Sean van der Linde only has to keep it all together to score his 2nd touring car win of the day. Another great performance too from Anthony Taylor in the Motorplan BMW. A 2nd to go with 3rd place in round 13 will be a great start for Taylor and his new sponsor. This is the Goodyear sweep with the setting sun directly in the driver's eyes. Taylor is comfortably in 2nd place, but the battle for 3rd place is well and truly on, with Nick Duval still holding off Mike Briggs, with Farouk Dangor also in the picture in the speedy car sales Vauxhall Cavalier. Duval lost ground after his clash with Marco Dos Santos. The Briggs Opel Astra also shows battle scars from the brush with Dos Santos. This is the battle for 3rd place, with Nick Duval out in front of Mike Briggs, with Farouk Dangor not yet out of it. Taylor is onto the tabletop approaching Westback corner, and behind him Mike Briggs looks to be closing on Nick Duval. This is the last lap, and Mike Briggs needs to come up with a rapid plan if he's to snatch 3rd place from Duval. Briggs leads the championship, but with Sean van der Linde set for a double, Briggs needs all the points he can muster. Side by by side down the Caltex mine shaft, but Briggs has the better line through the Haviline sweep. Super driving from Mike Briggs, and he is up into third place on the last lap. Briggs timed that to perfection, and Farouk Dangor is attacking Duval, who ran a little wide coming out of the AA Super Bowl. The start-finish line, and another win for Sean van der Linde and the BMW Enviro car. There is the flag as van der Linde comes up to lap Jesse Huggett. Anthony Taylor is second. Briggs will be third, but has Farouk Dangor managed to get past Nick Duval? Here they come with Briggs out in front and Duval and Dangor virtually side by side. It looks as though Duval just held on, but the hero of the day is Sean van der Linde. 2 wins for Sean van der Linde and another fine performance from Anthony Taylor in round 14 of the Stanek Sack Car Series. Mike Briggs is third ahead of Nick Duval and Farouk Dangor, and up on the podium there are some tired but delighted drivers.
I'm very happy with my performances today. The second heat, I didn't make that good start again. I don't know what went wrong with me today with my start. And I could see Anthony in my mirror actually had a better start than me. But from there on I had actually a safe race. I could pull a gap and maintain the gap quite easily.
I had a brilliant start in the second heat. I thought that I could beat Nick into the second bend. Unfortunately, he got ahead of me, but then I passed him going into Nashua. Although Sean, his car was just too quick for me, I couldn't catch him. Well done to him.
We had a problem in qualifying, which we fixed after qualifying. And from being 7th on the grid, I managed to finish the first heat second overall. And I'm very glad that I can stand on the podium, because really the advantage that the BMs have now gained with the weight and their wing, the aerodynamic package, for the time being, is certainly it's proved too much for us.